Hey, welcome to Bollox Talks and Tangents. It is our last show of the year.
Last show of the year. We are in that nether time between Christmas and New Year's.
The tweeners.
The tweeners.
Yeah.
Woo.
Hell Week in St. Augustine.
Hell Week in St. Augustine. Okay, seriously. I love this town, but what is going on?
I think we're about to have an Irish rant.
I can't believe how.
Should we do the sponsors and then the Irish rant? Or because everyone might leave.
Yesterday, while I was busy...
We're going to do the Irish rant now.
Having afternoon beers.
The nerve.
Sitting outside at a bar, not one of our sponsors, but Old Coast Ales. I was mesmerised by the incredible, incessant traffic that stretched. At one stage, while my wife was going to get me another beer, I took my bicycle and I rode down Anastasia Boulevard, and the traffic was backed up past Chiba Hut. Wow. Past Chiba Hut. And it never stopped all day.
Well, we did trivia last night.
Yeah, oh my God.
So we went around 312. You know, we live downtown, so we went around 312. And actually, after trivia, like around 9:30, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But like the moment of like 4 o'clock, actually around 3 o'clock until like 8 o'clock.
Crazy.
It's a parking lot.
It is an absolute parking lot.
We live in a parking lot.
But I can't understand it. Okay, I get people coming down from north end of the county or from Jacksonville, but where are they coming from? Nobody from the beach wants to go downtown this week. No. So who are these people? Identify yourself. Where are they coming from?
Yeah.
Who are they?
No,
I want to know.
It's awful. It's awful out there. You know, so I don't get it. So.
But my stress was really not bad because I was just day drinking, commenting on the traffic.
Yeah.
So
you had that going for you.
I had that going for me.
And you're having a good hair day. I mean, you actually combed your hair.
I combed my hair. My wife combed my hair for me today.
It must be important. Yeah. It must be an important show.
She got tired of looking at me.
Oh, okay. All right. So we got to talk about our amazing sponsors because you had the trifecta of sponsors this week.
We did the trifecta on St. Stephen's Day on Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
26th of December. I had my lunch with my family at Meehan's.
Okay.
Pint of Guinness. A couple of Tommy Dolan burgers. Beautiful. Then I went to the Pirate Museum with the family.
Excellent.
And we bought some merchandise in the store. Very nice. And then I went to the City Gates Distillery and left considerably lighter of pocket, but a very happy man. Several bottles of booze, some memorabilia, some T-shirts. Yeah, it's great.
Look what today's whiskey of the week is.
Oh,
smoked maple whiskey.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Blake's not a whiskey guy. I made him try it, but he did try it.
Yeah.
He's still not a whiskey guy, by the way.
Yeah, sadly,
No.
unfortunately.
You saw the face.
I tried it. It's really good.
It's excellent. It's
really
excellent.
good.
I did it with a little splash of water in it to kind of wake it up and get it going, and it is really, really good.
I just want to say, City Gates and St. Augustine Distillery, if you haven't been downtown, if you haven't been in there, it's incredible. The tasting is incredible. The staff are super friendly. The booze is amazing. Check these places out. They're wonderful.
All right. 900-degree pizza and pasta. Just amazing pizza. Right there off Lewis Speedway.
Right by the high school. Sauce is incredible.
They just knock it out of the park every single time. And I can't say more about it. I mean, just wonderful people there and always with a smile.
Always with a smile.
And quality of food's amazing.
Yeah,
so
wonderful.
Abare, Kresge and Associates. These guys know how to count beans.
Yes, they do, and it's about to be bean counting season.
It is almost bean counting.
Almost in a tax season. Look at if you're sick and tired of doing your own taxes, if you have a small business, if you need any kind of advice, these guys are the guys to go to. Abare, Kresge and Associates. They're the best accountants. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's all you got to say. They're the best.
They're the best.
All right. The Beacon Listening Room, where we were at last night, and Gypsy Cab, these two sister restaurants.
Yeah.
They have amazing staff, wonderful food. The Gypsy Chicken is, to me, the best meal in town. It's always steady.
Always steady. I think Gypsy's reinvented itself. I think it's a fantastic place. I think more people need to get back out and revisit Gypsy because it's.
If you haven't been there in a while, they have a new chef in there that's knocking it out of the park. They have daily lunch specials for under $10.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Some of the meals they're putting out there for under $10 for lunch.
And the Beacon on weekends in particular, the music there at night, superb.
Yeah, best music on the island, in my opinion. Yeah. Meehan's, we already talked a little bit about Meehan's.
I have been there several times over the break. When I just need something, I go there.
Yeah,
and Meehan's gives me what I need, which is a pint of Guinness.
And for me, it's Jameson and ginger.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not the name.
They match up together.
They do. Yeah,
they match up together nicely. And people go, well, why do you bastardize your Jameson? Which I agree with a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I don't put the ginger in, which actually fills me up, I drink twice as much.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of my morning after, because I'm getting up there in years, and I don't know if you've had a hangover lately. Do Irishmen have hangovers?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. Now, I haven't been too bad. I quit smoking 20-something years ago.
Okay.
And that really ended most of my murdery hangovers.
Yeah, I have some bad ones. Some bad ones.
Yeah.
If I don't drink enough water, I am like death for 5 hours the next day.
Well, and I just drink beer. I'm not a whiskey man usually.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, and I definitely do sometimes. Like before you go to bed, I drink water.
He actually is preaching to me, drink water, because he's seen it if I don't drink water. And. When I know I'm going to have a hangover is when I wake up in the middle of the night and my eyes are dried out.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, you're like, oh, I didn't do this right. And I should be a veteran. I should know.
Well, the veteran move then is to go for an early one at Meehan's. That's the veteran move. Yeah. The morning after, the night before.
Yeah. Oh, you go there, drink a little water, drink a little more, drink a little water, drink a little more. Be responsible.
Well, we always called it in Ireland. We call it pacing, not racing. Like you go to somewhere like Meehan's, you want to be there for the evening. You want to be there for the whole event. So, little bit of alcohol, a little bit of water.
Pace. It's
all about conversation.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But great place.
Yeah. Wonderful place. And they have three bars in one.
3 bars in one. I want to give a shout out. I took the family again to the Pirate Museum as well the other day.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. And it was funny because Julie hadn't been there in a couple of years. And we went in. There's a show on HBO called Our Flag Means Death. Mm-hmm. And it's a piss take about pirate movies, and it's a really funny series, but there's the gentleman pirate Stede Bonnet, and I thought he was made up. Damn it, if he wasn't in the Pirate Museum.
He was in the museum.
And I start reading about the guy going, oh, this is brilliant. So thank you once again, Pirate Museam. I learned something new again.
Waking you up every time.
Yeah.
So
brilliant.
And I had a meeting with him last week, and Michael Croce was there, and I just thanked him and said, thanks. You guys are just crushing it, because they're doing the Colonial Quarter now. Same crew is doing that. They started with the Pirate Museum, and they do the Colonial Quarter, and they have the Taberna, and they really do quality stuff. Do. So I'm glad they're here, and they found St. Augustine with that.
Yeah.
So all right, we usually talk right now about word origins.
Let's do it.
All right, and I didn't do my word origin homework until I got in here.
Oh.
And I came in and I found 2 really, really fun ones.
All right, go. Give me one.
Really fun ones. All right, you know what a dunce is?
I do know what a dunce is.
All right, so I wanted to find out, why did you come up with the dunce hat? You used to did they have this in Ireland? You'd have a dunce hat.
Yes.
You'd have to sit in the corner and face the corner. All right, it comes from a Scottish philosopher. All right, his name.
First of all, there's an actual Scottish philosopher. Seriously. Really? Okay. I'll believe anything.
Well, that's how we got to the dunce.
Okay.
His name was John Duns.
Okay.
Scotus.
John Duns Scotus.
Duns Scotus.
Okay.
All right. And a lot of his learnings and other things was a little off of regular educational practices.
Okay.
So they started calling the people that followed him as Dunsmen.
Dunsmen. Yeah.
And then it kind of morphed into being, what are you, a dunce?
Yeah.
You know, like if you got in an
Like
argument.
you follow that guy, you're fucking dunce.
Yeah. You're really, what are you, a dunce?
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it got to that point. And then it got carried over to being the bad kid or the dumb kid in the class. If you got in trouble, you had to wear a dunce hat. So can you imagine doing that in your class today?
Okay, so I'm a teacher. I've been here teaching for 26 years in the county. When I went to school in Ireland in the 70s and 80s, you could still put kids in the corner and make them wear a dunce cap. And I remember one teacher yelling at a classmate of mine, and basically he's in the corner with the dunce cap on. And the teacher, who was a priest, of course, was literally throwing a book at him and yelling, going, "Carl Kennedy, you are unteachable." And he's sitting in the imagine doing that today.
That might be one of our word origins, throw the book at him.
Oh, we got to do that one. Yeah.
So he literally threw the book at Carl.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to sit in the dunce corner? Or?
No, I got put out a lot for being an asshole, but I was never in the dunce corner. No.
I remember like the worst punishment in 5th grade. I was cutting up or something like that, and I can talk. I don't do it as well as I used to, but when I was a kid, I could really talk.
Oh yeah.
I could really, really talk. Like I think my fake teeth like messed up how good I could talk Donald Duck, but I literally could carry on an entire conversation in Donald Duck. And I was making the people in the back of the class laugh.
Yeah.
Mrs. Weichel had nothing to do with it. So she said, all right, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to talk Donald Duck for 2 minutes up front of the class. I killed it.
Yeah.
I cried. I was like, oh, you're giving me an
really?
audience?
Okay.
You're giving me an audience? Really? I was like, she should have been wearing the dunce hat for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I literally talked Donald Duck for 2 minutes, and my friends were crying, laughing, and I ended up having to go to the principal's office. I was like, so I get in trouble because I'm funnier than you wanted me to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Aw.
That wasn't nice.
Well, you know what?
It didn't pay off to be a cut-up.
What she had done to you was beyond the pale.
Beyond the pale.
Beyond
I'm
the
not
pale.
familiar with this term.
So this is there's an expression I was pretty familiar with growing up in Ireland, because there was a locus, an area around Dublin and just the hinterlands of Dublin, which was under direct control of England in the 15th and 16th centuries before they spread to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
And anything outside of that was...
The rest of the world.
Yeah. But anything outside of that was known in Ireland as beyond the pale. And I actually thought that the expression came from Ireland. And what it means is anything that's outside or beyond the pale means it's outside the boundaries of acceptable behavior. It's uncivilized.
Yeah.
Beyond the pale. So the direct English government control in that area.
Outside of it.
In the pale, good. Outside of it, uncivilized fucking Irish people.
Yeah.
But...
bunch of dunces.
Yeah, bunch of dunces. But it comes from, first of all, pale, P-A-L-E, is part of a fence, part of a paling post.
Oh, okay.
Right? So it was an old demarcation, old boundary thing. So you created a specific boundary, and anything like that was uncivilized.
So
but
it's like on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the term actually comes from Russia. It was coined in Russia when Catherine the Great set up the Pale of Settlement in eastern Russia in 1791, and it lasted until the Bolshevik Revolution of 1917. Mm-hmm. And it's where the Jews were sent to live. And it was the Pale of Settlement. They were sent, and anything beyond that was uncivilized.
So right? instead of a leper colony.
Yeah. And it's modern day, Belarus and Lithuania and most of Ukraine, parts of Poland. And that's where the Russian Jews were sent beyond the pale.
Oh, okay.
Outside the boundary, outside the fence.
So that's where the Russian Jews were sent beyond the pale.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that term, but I like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, my second one is going berserk.
Oh, the berserkers.
Okay, berserkers. Berserkers were like warriors, like Norse warriors, but it actually translates to a bear's coat. Mm-hmm. So it's literally, they fought like a ravaging bear.
Yeah.
So if you go berserk, you just like were swinging around and you're just killing everybody with your sword and stuff like that. Yeah. So going berserk was like a very violent, overly violent Norse warrior, a berserker.
Yeah, a berserker. It's a great word, isn't it?
Yeah, going berserk.
Berserk. So the other one I came across, which I was hoping was going to be really interesting, because I love the expression, not my circus, not my monkeys. And I love the expression. You know, it means like, you know, it's not my problem.
Yeah, it's not mine.
It's not my problem.
Not mine.
And I looked at it, it comes from Poland in the 17th century, and there's no great story behind it. It just is, well, yeah, it's not my circus, not my problem. It doesn't mean it mean. It just means...
No, it's not. I'm not gonna, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't give a shit.
That's what it is.
Okay.
And I couldn't find any origin, and I actually went on a couple of Polish websites, and it's like, no,
Still
it's
nothing.
It's just a common phrase. Like, it had to start somewhere, but couldn't find anything.
They're a bunch of dunces.
Bunch of dunces. Yeah, well, they were beyond the pale. That's
They
what
were beyond the pale.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Stuff like that makes me want to go berserk. Just saying. Just, I think we locked all 4 in, right?
I think we did.
Okay, we got all 4 of them in. All right, which way you want to start? You want to start with 2022?
Let's start with 2022. All right, let's go there.
And I want to start with, because we lost today, in my opinion,
Yeah.
the greatest living athlete. Now he's no longer with us. And it's Pele.
We lost Pele today, yeah. We did.
So, I mean, and I look at Pele, and I know I might make some people angry, but I think Pele, and I think I even said it, is like, could be the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But I look at him also as a Wilt Chamberlain style, like he was just that good of an athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just a phenomenal athlete. He was a better athlete than the people he was playing against.
Well,
like Wilt
yeah.
Chamberlain was just a better athlete.
Yeah.
I mean,
So Pele played, so he won the World Cup 3 times, 58, 62, and 70. But in 58, he was 17 years of age. And in the tournament, he scored 6 goals.
at 17
At
years
17, he scored he scored the only goal, the winner in the quarterfinal. He got a hat-trick against France in the semi-final, and he got 2 against Sweden in the final. And one of them, where he took the ball in the box and then flicked it over a guy's head, ran around and volleyed it in the back of the net. And he was 17.
Yeah.
17.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So, come on.
And then 14 years later, or 12 years later, he wins again.
He wins again. And that was the best, that was the greatest team. That was the team. They were saying, I read something today, that more people in Ireland and England bought televisions for the 1970 World Cup, specifically bought television so they could watch the 1970 World Cup. That's the great team for everybody of a certain generation. Pele scored in the final. He at one stage, he almost scored against Czechoslovakia. The goalie booted it out, and he hit it on the volley from the halfway line as it was dropping. And he missed by this much. But it was like, the goalie boots it out, and he just turns on the ball.
He just
from
turns and kicks
60
it.
yards, takes it out of the air, misses by. Yeah. He scored a header in the final against Italy. Brazil won 4-1. He set up the final goal, one of the all-time great team goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he came to the New York Cosmos.
Yeah.
Played with the Cosmos for a couple of years. Yeah, he was just bigger and better.
He was just a better athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, just the film on it. He's just a better athlete. So in 2022, and I wrote down some people we lost.
Yeah.
You know, and we just lost Franco Harris last week. You know, the Immaculate Reception. But we also lost probably the greatest winner in sports, Bill Russell.
Bill Russell, yeah.
I mean, he won 2 college with the San Francisco Dons.
Yeah. Who? People go, really? Who? San Francisco.
And then he won like 11.
He won 11 with the Boston Celtics. 11 championships.
One of them, he was a player coach.
Yeah.
So, I always attach myself to Bill Russell, you know, just because, you know, when you're an athlete, you want to be like, okay, I want to be like this person.
Yeah.
So Bill Russell had something that I would do during big games. I have nervous energy in really big games. So in any big game, I would throw up before the game.
Yeah.
I would get physically ill. I mean, I've thrown up in the batter's box.
Wow.
Before a game. Like, it's pretty gross for the catcher.
Yeah, no shit.
Catcher doesn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But I mean, I did that in any national championship or any of those things I was ever in. And people that play with me is like, hey, you throw up yet? You throw up yet? And I was reading something where Red Auerbach was like, we're not going on the court yet. Russell hadn't thrown up yet. Russell, go throw up. Yeah, and it was like almost a religion with the Celtics at the time that Russell has to throw up. And like right now he would be an undersized center,
Was he 6'11" or something?
No, he was like 6'9".
Wow.
Yeah. So he would be super undersized in today's game.
But the crazy thing about him, 11 championships. And it doesn't matter, it's very difficult to judge athletes over eras.
Yeah.
But the reality is, he won the NBA championship 11 times.
Yeah.
He won 2 NCAA college championships.
Yeah. The guy's just a winner.
Like, there's only so many years in your career.
Yeah.
Like, you can only win so many times. And you can only beat the people who are in front of you.
Hey, Blake's fact checking for us.
Yeah, so I want to give you guys a bit of trivia. So
Yeah.
which team actually drafted Russell?
Which team actually drafted? So it wasn't the Celtics.
It wasn't the Celtics. So he got traded there. Which team?
76ers.
I'm going to say, I think the 76ers came along later. I'm going to say Kansas City.
So it was actually the St. Louis Hawks. So he was actually
Hawks,
so
okay.
he was actually number 2
So before
pick.
they went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn. All right.
He went number 2 in the overall pick?
Yeah.
Who went number 1? Does it say?
Let me check in that right now. Then
Somebody got picked ahead of him.
That's like...
Like Jordan. Jordan
Yeah,
was
Ralph
like
Sampson,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
and it was Cy Green.
Oh, yeah.
Cy
Love
Green.
that guy. He was
Yeah.
who, though? Fuck
Yeah.
Cy Green.
It sounds like something an infection you get.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the Cy Green.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear
Well,
that.
I didn't treat the wound.
Yeah, you gotta clean that.
Gotta clean it.
You gotta clean that. So no, but we lost Bill Russell in this year. Probably one of our greatest sports announcers, Vin Scully. He was with the Dodgers forever, as far as the voice of the Dodgers, and I know we're sticking with sports, but you and I are kind of sports guys. But I mean, who did we lose this year that you really was like that hit you the hardest?
They hit me the hardest, I don't know, but I can tell you it's Meatloaf dying.
Yeah,
Meatloaf died. Meatloaf was massive in Ireland.
was he really?
Yeah, he was huge.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, he was fucking huge.
Yeah.
And he came on one of these like Meatloaf comeback tours in the it might have been early or mid in 1980s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ireland in the mid 1980s was just a really shitty place.
Yeah.
Like it was really
You
bad.
guys were blowing up cars and shit.
We were blowing up cars. You had like 20% unemployment and 20% inflation. And everyone's emigrating and Meatloaf came and he played all these small venues in rural Irish towns.
That's cool.
And he played in a town called Moate, Moate,
Okay.
which bizarrely, 20 years later, Michael Jackson lived in for about 6 months. And I can tell you this, I've been to Moate a bunch of times. It's in my county.
Mm-hmm.
Palatka. Moate makes Palatka look like the most incredible cosmopolitan space.
Metropolitan. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So Moate, Meatloaf came and played a gig in Moate in the mid 1980s, and he played in a community centre hall, capacity about 1,200. They reckon there was 2,500 at the gig, stacked in, and people started. He would play a song, and people would start throwing stuff, and Meatloaf got annoyed. And they were throwing...
Well, if they were throwing things at him.
Yeah, they were throwing... It's an Irish crowd, not used to seeing this kind of joy. That's Moate, the widest streets in the fucking world. A shithole of a place. By the way, my cousin has a bar in Moate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Vincent Coughlin's pub.
I was going to say, is it called the shithole?
Yeah, it's Vincent. But Meatloaf got hit a couple of times with, running shoes with Doc Martens. And then he yells out, and cans of beer. And then he yelled out, the next thing that gets thrown on this fucking stage, I'm walking off. And they threw a wheelchair at him.
A wheelchair?
They threw a wheelchair.
What's wrong with you, Irish? What the hell's wrong with you,
And
Irish?
so he stormed off the stage.
Of course he did.
He staggered back, fell into the drum
Instead of
kit.
being grateful
No.
that they're there. All right, and I saw Meatloaf one time.
Wheelchair.
Who throws the wheelchair? Did they have to take the guy out of the wheelchair?
What I want to know is, who's like, Jimmy, you gotta get out of the wheelchair. Jimmy hasn't walked in 14 years.
And how did Jimmy get home?
Like they clearly had to take
So
someone out
many
of the wheelchair.
questions with
No,
that.
lads. Yeah, so many questions.
They threw a wheelchair at him.
That's my Meatloaf story.
All right, and I only saw Meatloaf one time, and it was when he was doing the Storytellers tour.
Okay.
So, like, he would sing a song and he would talk about like his part of the life and how this came to be, and it was
nice.
at the Florida Theater, and it was interactive. Like you can
Yeah.
ask questions and stuff like that. I didn't ask a question, but But I mean, it was a really, really nice. It's a nice Florida Theater is a nice venue. It's a very
Beautiful.
intimate venue, and probably like you said, about 12. I think it's like 1,500. And no, it was great. But I mean, I loved what is it? Bat Out of Hell.
Bat Out of Hell.
And
the longest
Paradise.
song on his
Paradise.
Paradise by the Dashboard, like the whole baseball medal. That's how I understood before I came to America. First base, second.
Okay, I got this. All right, so we're gonna miss Meatloaf.
Yeah.
I mean, Time Warp, because he was in Rocky Horror Picture
He
Show.
was.
Yep. All right. Other people on this list that kind of hit hard. Bob Saget. His last concert was at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall.
That's right. Yeah.
He went to Orlando and he died that night.
Yeah, Saget was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Funny.
He was a
foul.
foul human being.
Yeah.
Foul human being. The two that I think on this list that probably changed the world the most is Mikhail Gorbachev. Gorbachev passed away, and Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, Gorbachev, like again, helping dissolve the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
With the perestroika, the glasnost, all of that stuff, his relationship with Ronald Reagan, then his relationship with George H.W. Bush, and then with Clinton as well, and bringing all of that to an end was extraordinary.
Yeah.
Like an extraordinary moment in world history.
Yeah, he changed the world, and I don't think a lot of people recognize his role and how he changed the dynamic of the world.
Yeah. Like breaking down the Soviet ideology and allowing the borders to come down and looking for a way forward. Yeah, an amazing man.
But I mean, they were dying.
They were.
Their way of life was dying, and he recognized it when a lot of the old school, which he came from,
they would never have.
They were not accepting it. They
never.
were not accepting it. Queen Elizabeth. It's hard for an Irishman to talk about the Queen.
It's not hard for the Irishman to talk about the Queen. It's hard for an Irishman to say good things
about the Queen.
Yeah. Okay, she reigned for 70 years. Fair enough.
Yeah, she was around. She was old.
She was 96. Yeah. It's a complicated legacy.
Yeah.
Like, when she died, obviously everybody in England's very upset. Okay. And then they were upset that soccer fans in Ireland or in Scotland were chanting, Lizzie's in a box. Lizzie's in a box. Like, and they were like, oh, that's offensive. But if you were Irish, it's not offensive because
what
the
the
fucking
English
Queen
did.
and the fucking royal family did hellish things. And they did hellish things throughout the world.
Yeah.
Some of the things, their long-term support of slavery and long-term support of the colonial stuff, the things they did in Africa, the murders, the slaughters, all of this was done in the name of the crown.
All right, here's one of the biggest things in my mind that wasn't really a story, a real story.
Okay.
The Prime Minister of England.
Yeah, this year. How long did she last? An hour?
No. The new one.
Oh, yeah.
The one from India.
Sunak, Rona, yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Ruskin?
I'm looking
Sunak, isn't it?
Sunak.
Yeah.
All right, but I mean, he's from India.
Yeah.
I don't know of any country that got treated worse.
By the British?
By the British.
Yeah. Well, here's the best. So, do you know, you got...
So, I mean, that's a huge dynamic change.
So the Prime Minister of England...
Okay, hold on. So current Prime Minister right now is Rishi Sunak.
Yeah.
And he was actually born in Southampton, Hampshire, England.
He was born in
Yeah, but
Southampton, but his parents are immigrants from India.
From India.
But you know this right now?
We have an India vice president.
The Prime Minister of Ireland, the Irish Taoiseach, is Leo Varadkar, and Leo is half Irish, half Indian, and gay.
Yeah.
So we have a gay
But you guys were the
Indian
first
Prime Minister.
You guys were the first to have gay marriage.
Yes, we were. Yeah.
As backward ass as some of the shit you guys do.
Yeah.
You were the first one to allow gay marriage.
If you were in Moat in the 1980s throwing wheelchairs at Meatloaf, you didn't expect what was coming in the next couple of generations in Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah.
So none of those people threw the wheelchair.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Sunak, it's a crazy story. And Liz Truss lasting, 6 weeks is the shortest serving Prime Minister in English history.
Yeah.
She lasted 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
It's like, this sucks.
44 days.
44 days.
Yeah.
Wow. Which, by the way, is the same time that Brian Clough reigned at Leeds United. And if you're ever looking for a great sports movie, The Damned United.
The damn United.
Brilliant story about A soccer
leave
team and a
that one
manager.
for Blake.
Brilliant. The
I'll leave
Damned
that one for
United.
Blake.
Superb.
All right. So other stories during 2022. Obviously, the Ukraine situation. What's
Yeah.
going on in Russia is, to me, the biggest story of 2022.
Yeah.
Blake, what do you think the biggest story is?
I definitely think it would. I think like the big one was like the rise in inflation and the cost of living.
Gas, and the inflation and what it did to our economy. So yeah, I mean the U.S. I agree with
A
you.
lot of that's tied into Russia invading Ukraine as well.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, any hiccup in the world, they attach it to the gas prices.
Yeah.
So
Bastards.
Even though we have enough reserves to last us, 3 generations.
Yeah.
Yeah, we better come up with something in 3
Fascinating.
generations.
So speaking of gasoline, so I heard of one good story this year.
Okay.
Was they're just building the largest floating wind farm off the coast of Wales in the UK.
Okay.
And these floating wind farms they're not damaging to the environment. They can move, and this thing is going to power 1 million homes in England. 1 million homes. Floating wind farm.
From Wales to England.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing.
How does it work?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah. Well, and I don't understand, because I understand that we have the technology for turbines to be, because there's currents that run through the ocean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just an untapped thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me...
So these floating ones can go deeper, where the deeper currents and the stronger stuff is to channel the energy. Yeah.
So, that's
kind of
cool.
cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And probably my personal favorite story of the year was NASA returning to the moon.
Oh, yeah. We're coming back. That launch and what we've made that commitment again.
Well, I like just on the subject of NASA, the James Webb Telescope.
Oh, my.
That took the photographs
That
of
was
the
awesome.
universe. Wow, amazing.
I don't
How
even know what
amazing
this
were
is.
those
Blake, do you have a picture of this?
Oh, come on. This was bonkers. It was like July or something. Basically, 1 million things could have gone wrong, and they got it all right. And it took years, but we've never seen pictures of the galaxy like this telescope gave us this summer.
Okay.
And they're now measuring. They're measuring lifespan of stars. They're measuring they're dating the size of the universe, the rate it's expanding, the brightness of the. Look at this stuff.
Yeah. So basically, so the photo on the left is a photo from Hubble of the pillars of creation. The photo on the right is from James Webb, and just mud. You can see like a bunch more stars. Like
and the colors and the vibrancy of it. Yeah,
That is crazy.
It's astonishingly cool stuff. Yeah.
That is crazy. I'm sorry I'm leaning in, because Blake's got it on the monitor, and I got to look around a little curtain here.
So I heard another really good news story that did not get a lot of, but this was the first year that we've actually using less agricultural land than we've ever used before. So we kind of peaked a couple of years ago, and this is the first year we're turning things back. So we're making better use out of less land, and we're allowing more land to kind of rewild itself. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully, if this continues, the benefit to it. I can give you. I've one or two other really cute little stories. Something else that hit this year. We passed 8 billion in the population of the world.
Oh, we're
8 billion.
Yeah,
we did it in November. And so I was looking up, because I spotted that today.
Well, it's good, because only 7 billion don't like me.
There you go. Yeah.
That's good numbers, right?
We hit 1 billion in 1803. Right?
1803.
We hit 1
That's
billion.
like around the corner.
We hit 2 billion in 1927.
I mean, how
Right?
good is accounting on that? I mean, that's
3 billion in 1960. 4 in 1974. So it's 4 billion people in 1974.
Yeah.
And we've doubled.
We got it.
We've doubled since 1974.
Yeah.
I think I saw 1 billion downtown.
Yeah, for sure.
St. Augustine. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty sure there's
at least 1 billion. I'm not good at math.
Yeah,
And counting is hard for me too.
yeah.
But yeah, 1 billion for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was 1 billion there.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite story from the year?
I mean, as far as my favorite sports story goes, I mean, I love the World Cup. And for me to say that as a baseball guy, it's hard for me to say. But what Aaron Judge did this year is pretty incredible. Like with the steroids, the pitchers are so much better. But what he did this year, and he broke Maris's record for American League home runs.
Yeah.
And I mean, and what did he just sign for, Blake?
It was 9 years, $360 million. It was.
That's stupid money
Come on.
Yeah.
40 million a year for 9 years.
to play a game.
Yeah. But he has
To play
62 homers.
To play a game that I loved.
Yeah, you do it for free, wouldn't you?
Oh, if I could still run.
Yeah.
If I think I could still hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
In my mind, I can, but I can't run. But I mean, this guy is getting $40 million to play a game, and he's not even close to the highest paid athlete.
Yeah.
It's incredible what these guys are making.
Ah, it's incredible.
So
Incredible.
but I think what he did this year in sports is the best feat that I can think of this year.
All right, so I got one more sort of little happy story, and it's close to my heart. So the largest Irish music festival of the world, it's called the Fleadh Cheoil, which just means music festival. And it started in my hometown in 1951, and they were supposed to have the 70th anniversary of it in 2020, and of course COVID. Supposed to happen in 2021, couldn't happen again because of COVID. But they had it this year in 2022. Population in my hometown is about 25,000 people. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere in Ireland, right? Mm-hmm. In the middle of nowhere. Like to give you an idea of how in the middle of nowhere it is, some friends of mine came over to visit us there in 2019, and they landed in Dublin, and they go to customs, and the customs officer says to Tom Anderson, "Where are you going?" And Tom goes, "Mullingar." And the guy leans over the desk and goes, "Why the fuck would you be going to Mullingar?"
Mm-hmm. There has to be a reason.
Right? Because, but 25,000 people in Mullingar, 650,000 people visited for the week. 650,000 people. They shut the town down. They made the whole town pedestrianised. They took out the front windows in every pub so you can drink on the streets and serve the pints straight out the window.
The storefront.
Yeah. Wow. 650,000. So they decided to have it again next summer in the same place.
What? How does their infrastructure even? I mean, we're joking about downtown.
Yeah.
But how does that happen?
So we have, the town's in the middle of the country.
Where do all these cars park?
Well, we have trains.
What? What are those things?
Yeah, you see, that's the key. The trains.
Have those made it to the U.S. yet?
I don't think. No, it's modern technology that Ireland has.
Oh,
yeah,
because Ireland's known for being so advanced in technology.
Yeah, trains and the accessibility. You can bike across the island. You know, on old railway lines and new railway lines, and get trains in. Yeah, it's trains, and then it's good public transportation.
So, like, you said your first car, like, your friend chopped off the...
Yeah.
Were cars common? Or, like you know, in the U.S., like, it's a car per person that's able to drive is kind of what it is.
So there were 4 high schools in my town.
Okay.
4 equivalent. Now, none of them had more than maybe... The biggest was probably 600.
Okay.
Right? So we had 4 schools. So between the 4 schools, you probably had about 1,600 people in the 4 high schools. Mm-hmm. Guess how many kids had cars?
I'm going to say, out of the 1,500, I'd say 100. One high school student.
One high school student, and I can remember her name to this day. Her name was Natasha Brandt. Her father was from Germany.
Screw you, Natasha.
She was the richest person on the planet Earth, as far as we were concerned.
Because she had a car.
And she was beautiful.
Oh, she's hot, too.
Yeah, she was.
She's hot and rich.
One person had a car.
You know what? She married an American.
She did not. She married a German.
Okay, that's worse.
Yeah.
That's actually worse.
Yeah, and we used to talk. We would brag that we knew somebody who had gotten a ride in her car. Like that's
a ride in her car.
That's how much cachet she had.
Not you knew her.
No.
Not you knew her.
I knew. Do you know what? Do you know Beanie Hines? Yeah. He got a lift. He fuck off. He did not. I know somebody who saw him getting out of the car. That's how cool it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. When did you learn to drive?
So I learned to drive in Ireland. I was probably mid 1980s.
Okay.
But I never had a car. Uh-huh. I got a car when I came here. I was 23 when I bought a car. I was here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first car was an MGB.
Bastard.
It was a piece of shit.
Yeah, but it looks cool as hell.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
Like if you saw me sitting in it, you'd be like, oh, that is a cool car.
And that's all you basically did was you sat in it.
Yeah, because they didn't run half the time.
Didn't we already talk about this in the former episode?
Huh?
Didn't we already talk about this in the previous episode?
We may have.
We might have talked about
Yeah,
POS.
we have.
Yeah, we may have talked about we're old. We go backwards.
We got to go back.
We go backwards. All
I mean, now you tell us we need to do a sponsor break. Is that code for sponsor break?
He's like, you guys need to move on, is what he was saying. All right, so we got to talk about our sponsors, the St. Augustine Pirate Museum. Amazing place. They have over 800 artifacts. If you haven't been, you got to go. So
Phenomenal.
Right.
Phenomenal. Meehan's Irish Pub. The best pint of Guinness this side of the fucking Atlantic. 3 bars, 1 building. You got to go there over the break.
And Rolly's back behind the bar. Saw Rolly there the other day.
Love Rolly.
All right, the Beacon Listening Room, by the way, if he's controlling the music, best music around. The Beacon Listening Room and Gypsy Cab, best music on the island. The Beacon Listening Room, amazing. Come see me on Wednesday night. Call ahead, get that reservation. Gypsy Cab, check out their lunch specials. You got to go if you haven't been there in a while. The cheese spandini's amazing.
Yep.
Best salad dressing, hands down.
Hands down. No
Not
question.
just here. Anywhere. Abare, Kresge and Associates.
Best accountants in the town. Maybe the best accountants in Florida. Simple as that.
Yep.
You got a business. You need your taxes done. Abare, Kresge and Associates. That's where you need to go.
Common sense. They'll save you money. You think you're spending more money than you want. It's still going to save you money. They've done it for me for years, decades now.
Yeah.
900 Degree Pizza, just a new pizza place.
Wonderful.
But they just do an amazing job with it. They have incredible sauce. Every time I open it, it looks like a picture.
I have some friends of mine live in Heritage Park. Their kids will bike over there and get some slices from 900 Degree Pizza. They're delighted they're in the neighborhood. If you haven't visited, Lewis Speedway right by the high school, it's amazing. And City Gates Distillery and St. Augustine Distillery. I was just in there the other day. It's amazing. The taste testing is amazing. The quality of their alcohol is incredible. And get yourselves over to the St. Augustine Distillery. The tour is fabulous. Buy some booze, and then go eat some dinner up at the ice plant. It's amazing.
It's such good food.
Wonderful
Such
place.
good food. They have an amazing burger there. If you haven't had it, a grass-fed burger there that's incredible.
Okay.
So try it out. All right, our next topic.
New Year's traditions.
New Year's traditions, and I kind of want to start with like personal stuff.
Okay.
All right, so I grew up on New Year's Day. New Year's Day we had cornbread and black-eyed peas.
Okay.
And ham hocks.
Yeah.
That was kind of our meal.
That's a southern thing.
That's a southern thing. All right. Blake's mom was a sauerkraut and casings. So
It smelled awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like sauerkraut and casings. And I like both. But but I know a lot of different people, and I want to see what people in the comments are saying too. Did you guys have that growing up, like a certain food that?
We did not.
Okay.
New Year's Day, New Year's Eve was huge. The event itself. I don't remember having anything traditional on New Year's Day in Ireland. Mm-hmm. But that may also have something to do with how shit we were as family. Mm-hmm. I'm sure other parts of the country probably had better things to do.
Family traditions.
Yeah.
You actually like your family?
Yeah. Like people will ask me, like I'd say everybody in my town played music except my family.
Yeah.
Like we were, when it came to an awful lot of things, we were just shit at an awful lot of them. Yeah. We weren't even good at being alcoholics. Like that's
not even good at it. You were even bad at that.
Yeah.
All right. But I mean, I was going through this, and some of these things are really, really out there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, there's some that are just like head-shakingly brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know exactly. Some of them they just do it, and they don't even know why.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the ones that really stood out to you?
Okay, so I've one from Vietnam, and I had to check this. I checked this several years ago to check the veracity of it. I taught a Vietnamese student, and the parents came in for a parent-teacher conference. And they bowed to all the teachers in the room. Individual bows to every teacher. And we're not used to that kind of thing. When parents are coming in for a parent conference, they're usually coming in to yell at us.
Yeah.
They bowed to us. And the father told me that the best thing you can do in Vietnam on New Year's Day is you say hello to a teacher and you wish them a Happy New Year first. And if you do that, it'll guarantee you good luck. And I'm like, You have to say Happy New Year to a teacher. And he goes, if there's no teachers, there's no doctors, there's no lawyers, there's no engineers, there's no civilization. He goes, teachers, number one in Vietnam.
Makes sense.
And I'm like, could we have you spread that philosophy here in the United States of America? Teachers number one. What a great, crazy idea that would be. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, that would be, I mean, they pretty much do that in Ponte Vedra. I've seen some of you guys' bonuses.
Oh, I wish that was true.
I tried to say it with a straight face. I tried to say it with it. All right, one of the things, and I had an assistant, and this is when I was with Parks and Recreation, and she would bring in manger hay.
Manger hay.
Manger hay from the manger, like from the nativity from the previous year.
Okay.
And she would have you put that in your wallet for good luck.
Wow.
On New Year's Day.
Wow.
Like, and it was, and I never heard that before, and I don't know if it's a northern thing or what, but I every year she'd give me a little manger hay. I'd slide it in my wallet, and then, come May it'd be all mangled up and stuff, but it was still in my wallet.
Wow.
And it's like that way your wallet never goes empty.
Whoa. Okay. So I came across one. This was where Mexico, Bolivia, and Brazil, New Year's Day, you wear certain colored underwear. Now, this wouldn't work for you at all.
No.
Because obviously you don't wear underwear.
Yeah, I'm a free baller.
So you'd be shy to this. Mm-hmm. But you wear red underwear if you're looking for love, yellow underwear if you're looking for wealth, and white underwear if you're looking for peace. Yeah. And this is a conscious...
Looking for a piece or a piece? I mean,
no,
because there's
P-E-A-C.
Oh, okay, all right. It's different.
Those who don't wear any underwear, who freeball it, are looking for a piece.
Okay, because it's different.
It is different.
It's different. So.
Yeah. You're so
but
classy. You really are classy. I love that about you.
I keep it clean. Keep it clean. All right. So the other thing I have from Brazil,
all right,
is it has to do with clothing. So they wear white colored clothing, and it's to signify peace and happiness.
Okay.
And they wear it on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Wow. I've a connected story to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Brazilian national soccer team used to wear all white. And then they lost the 1950 final in Brazil, largest crowd in the history of sports, 205,000 people, Maracanã Stadium. And they lost in overtime to Uruguay. And they swore never to wear white again. And they changed their strip to match their flag.
Wow.
Yeah. White was their... Yeah.
All right. So in the Philippines.
Oh, Philippines. Yeah.
All right.
Gotta be crazy.
The most commonly tradition is wearing collection or eating only round items. So you could wear polka dots. You could wear patterns with round. If you ate something, you could eat a donut. You could eat an apple. You can eat an orange. But everything has to be round.
Round?
Yes.
So onions. Ah, brilliant. Yeah. Round.
Round fruit, polka dots, circles, anything with circles on it, any type of patterns with that.
Why? Where's it?
It's just for good luck.
But why? That's the part I don't get. Like, I want to know, like, it has to, it's got to have something to do with, I don't know, infinity or
I don't know,
life or I don't know.
In Colombia,
all right,
they carry around empty suitcases.
Why?
On December 31st for good luck. For it'll bring about great travels, great adventures, and they literally will carry suitcases that are empty on December 31st.
On December 31st. Okay.
Yeah.
So I came across another one from South America, down in Peru.
Okay.
The Takanakui Festival. Takanakui. And Takanakui translates to when the blood is boiling. When the blood is boiling. This festival, it's basically a festival where you beat the living shit out of each other. It's bare knuckle brawling overseen by local policemen, right? And it's done
so the policemen stand there and watch.
Right, and it's done, as tradition demands, on New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day. all fights are between friends, and you're supposed to shed each other's blood, right? So all fights are friendly, and it's meant to represent, I don't fucking know why, but it's meant to represent a fresh start to the new year.
So you beat the shit out of your friend
Yes!
for a fresh start.
To the new year, yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's some weird shit.
That's some weird shit, right?
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the best fights I got in have been with my friends. Like, and then we're like, okay, let's go get a drink.
But like, are you punching somebody one week, and is there somebody then that thought you were better? Why is he not hitting me? What did I do wrong this year?
I'm not your friend. Am I not your friend? You didn't punch me in the face.
Right? Like, at what point? Yeah, that was one of the weirder ones I came across.
Wow. That is crazy. All right, so in Spain, you said you had this one.
Yeah.
The green grapes.
Yeah.
They eat 12 green grapes.
Yeah.
All right, and it represents each month.
Right at the stroke of midnight.
Yeah.
The idea, yeah. And sometimes you have to put, depending on where you are in Spain, sometimes you have to put all 12 in your mouth at once.
Yeah.
And hold them in there.
It's like playing Chubby Bunny. You ever play Chubby Bunny with marshmallows?
Yeah. Wow. So, but that was a marketing tool. Mm-hmm. It goes back to something in the early part of the 20th century, 1909 or 1910, where there was a huge harvest of grapes.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we gotta get.
And they didn't know what to do
We
with
can't
it.
make this much wine.
Yeah, and so somebody turned it into this thing, and now it's fairly common throughout Spain, and you lob 12 grapes in your mouth. Wow, fair enough, right?
That is nuts. All right,
So Scotland, I came across a couple of great ones in Scotland. So Auld Lang Syne comes from Scotland, right? You sing that on New Year's Eve. That has transcended the world, right? Should old acquaintance be forgotten, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But in Scotland, it's considered good luck. The first person to cross your threshold on New Year's Day is the omen for the year ahead. And in Scotland, if you want to guarantee good luck, the first person that needs to cross your threshold has to be tall and dark-haired. And it's even better if he's bearing gifts like coins and whiskey.
They don't want me coming in.
But the best part of this is, it dates back to like the 7th and 8th and 9th century. The Vikings used to, they started raiding, obviously, the monasteries off the coast of Scotland, then raiding into Scotland.
Yeah.
That's when they started their attacks. And of course, the Viking warriors tended to be fair-haired or red-haired, and so therefore, fair-haired or red-haired men meant nothing but trouble.
Yeah.
So the opposite of that is a dark-haired person. There's your tradition right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if in Scotland I'd be considered tall. They're not tall, though.
They're not real tall, no.
Yeah. So I wonder if I'm above average there. I'm 5'8".
You might be.
I think I need to move to a different country where I'm, considered actually at least average.
The best, I was in Peru, down in the mountains in Peru. Or the mountains.
I was in Hong Kong.
Oh.
I was a giant.
I was in Peru. I still had red hair.
Ooh.
I was staying down in Cusco and I was wandering around these little villages. And
so did they ever see anybody with red hair? Were there people
probably not too many?
Were there
because
people that like wanted to come up and touch your hair?
Oh, the kids were coming up to touch my hair all the time.
That's hilarious.
I had a couple of great times. Like ended up
like they thought it was going to be hot.
I don't know what they thought, but like it was just fascinating. And ended up in these little villages and then drinking whatever they put in front of you. And like they're speaking. It was all Quechua. It wasn't even Spanish.
That's the axe nuts.
Oh,
yeah, that's
what. But it was great fun. Yeah.
All right, so they do a big plunge in Edinburgh, in Scotland. Evidently, it's a big party they have there. So they do. I have a little picture of it. It's called the Looney Dunk.
The what? The Looney Dunk. The Looney Duke.
Looney Dunk.
And they all jump into the water.
They all jump into the freezing water.
That's bastard cold.
So it's in the North Sea.
Yeah.
I mean, if it says North Sea, it can't be warm.
No, that's like, okay, do you know how far north you are there? You're further north than the northernmost point of Hudson Bay. So you're about, halfway up Canada.
Yeah.
Go across in a line. You're not fucking swimming there.
Can you imagine this week jumping in a swimming pool in St. Augustine?
Oh, so my youngest kid, he'll be 11 tomorrow. Finn, happy birthday tomorrow. But One of his mates came over on, what was the coldest day? Was that Monday or Tuesday?
It was Monday, I believe.
Right? He jumped into our pool.
His mate did.
No.
Or Finn did.
No, his mate, Sam Body. Sam, you're a legend. He came over, he's 11. Mm-hmm. And his kid, he's a great athlete. He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
And he came over and he's like, can I jump in your pool? And I went, and I looked at his dad and his dad was like, all right. So whatever day was, might have been Christmas Eve. Was Christmas Eve the coldest day? Whatever day the plants,
Christmas was Sunday.
Yeah, whatever day the plants had ice on them at my house.
It was Christmas.
That kid jumped in.
It was Christmas and Monday. Both of them had ice.
Yeah, he jumped into the damn pool.
Yeah. And we used to jump in every Christmas. So Blake's like, it was a horrible
But
tradition.
the ocean wasn't bad. I used to swim here on Christmas.
Yeah.
The ocean wouldn't be that bad. The pool at my house,
Yeah.
fucking freezing.
Yeah.
He jumped in there like a boss, swam around. He didn't jump in and jump out. He jumped in and swam around like, this ain't bad.
Yeah. Oh, he actually swam. We literally jumped in, jumped out.
Yeah.
We didn't stay in. We would do our plunge, our little polar plunge, and jump in and jump out.
And you're polar plunging in Florida.
In Florida. Yeah. So just so we're clear, there was sometimes
You're not doing the Looney Duke as they do in Scotland.
where the North Sea is always cold. No, there were some times where it was in the 70s and we jumped in. It was still cold.
Yeah.
And for Florida guys like me and Blake, it was still cold. So, all right. So we got about 4 minutes left. New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
Do you ever set New Year's resolutions?
Yes.
Okay. What do you have one in mind
For this year,
for this year?
I want to perform more. I got away from it. COVID kind of killed a lot of that.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything. I haven't done a show. I haven't done any stand up in 4 years. So I'm determined to get back into that this year.
That's wonderful.
So that's it for me.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I mean, to me, travel's kind of got knocked out of the loop for a couple of years and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of trips planned. Blake and I, in 2 weeks, are going to be, hopefully, if they figure out the whole airplane stuff, we're going to be in Vegas for his birthday. Woohoo! And then I have a sailing trip planned, and then I have a mountains trip that I want to do. But I want to try and get out there a little bit more.
Yeah, we do too.
In my mind, you learn more when you're there.
Yeah.
You know, and one of the most telling moments, and Blake can attest to this, is when we went to Africa. The best day we had was the day we went into the village.
Yeah.
And we learned about their culture, and we learned about, like, okay, I can't complain about shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and Blake, wouldn't you agree that was probably we were there for 13 days. Would you agree with that or no?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, and because, I mean, it was so eye-opening that they had to walk like 3 miles to get fresh water.
Yeah.
So they had to walk an hour, carry the water back for an hour.
Incredible.
You know, for the entire family.
Yeah.
You know, and we complain, like, you know, I'm a landlord and there's been air conditioners and heats going out and stuff like that. And it's like, it's 65.
Yeah.
It's 65 in my office. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
I was going to put a sweater on. All right. That's where you're at. But I mean, it just changes.
It changes the way you look at everything.
But when you travel, you get to see those things that you don't normally get to see. And you're a guy who likes to learn. I'm a guy who constantly wants to learn, and I think in travel that's how I get to do it. Yeah, but you do need to get back on stage.
I do, and we're going to travel again this year too, because for all of the reasons that you said there. But
because your kids are right at that age. That's a beautiful travel.
Well, my kid, they've been to lots of different places, and they're wonderful when they go. Like we've gone a lot. My job, obviously, as a teacher, I'm off, and Julie can work from she's got good vacation. She can work from anywhere. So we've been very lucky with our ability to travel. But I'll tell you this: of all the New Year's resolutions I ever did, the best one I ever did was I stopped smoking on January the 1st, 2002.
And you held
to
20
years. I've never smoked since. So I got 20. It was 20 years this year. Be 21 years this year, and that's the best thing I ever did.
Well, and I joke every year. I was like, I'm going to give up heroin. I've never done heroin. Yeah. That way, I at least I'm accomplishing something.
Yeah, every year I'm the same. Cocaine, I will stop.
Yeah, cold turkey.
Cold turkey.
We already know what that means.
We know
cold
what that
turkey.
means. Yeah. So.
All right, and the last thing I got before we go, one of your highlights of 2022. We're saying goodbye to 2022.
Yeah.
So give me your highlight of 2022.
Oh, shit.
And I'm going to tell you mine because I just sprung this on you. Mine is me and the boys went to Disney.
Yeah.
Just the three of us, and we got to hang out there, and I mean it's crazy expensive, and it's just but it's an amazing place for like just a family thing.
Yeah.
So I think that was my highlight of 2022. So Blake, I'll let him go. Do you have a highlight?
Yeah, it was also the same Disney trip as well.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just one of those. I mean, we do a spring break. We try and do a spring break trip, and it's something that I look forward to every year. So.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, didn't have a hell of a lot of highlights this year. My dad died, my wife got cancer, so not the best
but
year.
But she's healthy.
But we got through. Julie had her last chemo a month ago. So from a highlight standpoint, that's the highlight right there. That's a big highlight. And we're on the up and up, and it's onwards and upwards from here. The kids had a couple of great highlights. Saw some great stuff, kids stuff. The boys doing well at school. Finn scoring a couple of goals back-to-back at a tournament, playing soccer. That kind of stuff is great. But getting through chemo
I'm a
is
little
fucking awesome.
It wasn't the sunset, but
Okay, the sunset on the Treasury building was pretty fantastic.
Well, I want to say thank you and cheers, sir.
Cheers, mate.
Happy 2023.
Happy 2023.
And, happy 2023 out there to everybody out there.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys sticking with us. Appreciate our sponsors.
Thanks,
this
guys.
is Bollox Talks and Tangents, and we'll see you next year.
Next year.
Woohoo!
We're out.